Well, hello, welcome to my training. Today we're talking about Authorship 101, mastering the 10 phases of publishing and creating your first high ticket offer. So, who am I? My name is Latasha L.T. Jimerson. I'm an author, teacher, book coach, and motivational speaker. I'm also a retreat host for authors, and I love to help people write their book in 90 days or less with minimal stress. I've even had clients write their books in 5 days or less. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Right now, I want you to just grab a pen and grab a piece of paper. We're going to talk about authorship. All right, so welcome. As I said, my name is Latasha L.T. Jimerson. I'm an author, teacher, motivational speaker. I'm also a retreat host, and I love to help people write their books. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about my story. So this is me in 2017 as a classroom teacher. At this point in 2017, I was actually at the high school level teaching social studies and teaching English because I'm an overachiever and I just love to do that, right? I love to teach, I love to learn. One of the classes that actually was very powerful was finance. And once I taught finance, I was able to start a business teaching people how to write. And so this book that I have in my hand is actually still on Amazon. If you look it up, it's called Secrets from My Closet, Unveiling the Past and How to Heal in the Future. And I will have to say, I am healed right now in the future from those things that I wrote about in 2017. Okay. All right, here's one of my teacher friends that taught. She still teaches in the same district where I was in 2017. And she says, when I originally spoke with LT regarding the possibility of me writing a book, I wasn't confident in my decision. However, LT was very encouraging and helped guide me along the way. She gives you exactly what you need in order to get you on the right road to your journey. I've learned so much during our sessions. I now feel confident and motivated to complete the book that God has placed inside of me. If you are on the line trying to figure out how and if you should write a book, I highly encourage you to join the New Authors Workshop because you will definitely find the book that's inside of you. LT, definitely, that's me, Coach LT, y'all. Definitely motivated me to complete a project that has been inside of me for years. I am on my way to finishing my first book, and I've learned so much through the New Authors Workshop. I am so glad that LT reignited the flame that was almost diminished and is helping me defeat the beast of procrastination. So that's what I do, y'all. I help snap people out of their procrastination, get them on the right track to authorship. So here we go, y'all. Here we go. Okay, here's the agenda for today. Trigger warning. Some of these things might trigger you. We're going to talk about the 10 phases of authorship. You're going to figure out where you are on that trajectory right now, whether you're on the right path, whether this is the right time. You're going to know that by the end of this training, okay? Some of the things that I'm going to say are personal. Some of them are pretty sensitive topics, okay? Let me go to the trigger warning. So this content is for adults only. Put on a headset, okay? If there are children around, you will be triggered by the words I'm using here inside of this presentation, okay? Here's another client. This is my testimonial regarding my experience with LT, and at that time, they used to call me the buddy teacher. I can attest to the fact that she is the real deal. As my coach, she helped me to publish my first paperback and 2 ebooks in 3 months. I joined her course on Teachable. That was back when I was using Teachable. I don't use Teachable anymore. On August 1st, 2020, so it's 5 years ago, where she guided me step by step until my books were all published. She even provided marketing and distribution tips. If you are having any doubts, I can tell you this was time and money well spent. Now I am ready to teach my own author courses and start my entrepreneurial journey. Thank you, LT. And that's from Dr. Joyce Brooks, author, business owner, coach, and educator. All right, I already gave you the trigger warning, trigger alert. And this is my client, Karen. She just came through my 5-day challenge about a month ago, 2 months ago. All right, here's what she has to say. Before joining the 5-day publish your book challenge, I had notes and brain dumps all over my home. However, imposter syndrome had me questioning if I was good enough to write a book, even though on a level buried so deep down, I knew I could and I should. The challenge gave me the courage to share my draft with trusted friends, and their feedback opened the door to a transformation that I didn't expect. With Coach LT's guidance, I pushed through every gut wrenching moment of doubt and came out the other side of having finished, published, and launched my book, Echoes of Almost. The experience left me empowered, validated, confident, and most of all, magical. There she is, y'all, Karen Harkins. And this is where she finishes up. She says, if you show up fully and follow Coach LT's instructions, even when it feels uncomfortable, you'll discover the magic is within you too. This book challenge didn't just help me publish a book. She is continuing to help me step into the full potential of being an author. And that's why we're here today, y'all. All right, this is my book that I published, and this is where the magic happens. This is where people are actually able to write a book. Some people are able to write a book just from this workbook. Okay, so I'm going to play my commercial. Let's see if I can play my commercial. I can't play it. Let's see. Let's see if I can play it. No, I can't play it. All right, I'll just play it later for you guys. If you want access to this book, I have a private link. I no longer sell this anywhere except for my private website. So if you want it, let me know. Okay. This is Jackie Phillips. She wrote a book back in 2021. She was actually the inspiration for me to quit teaching and to pursue this as a full-time dream. She's the first client that hired me for a full year to complete her book. She was actually working on her third book. She was already done with these 2 books that are on the table. She's already a business owner selling her products. So her third book really took her business over the top. Okay. This is a happy hour class that I used to teach. This was back in 2020 when we were on the pandemic and everybody was at home. I created a happy hour night, and these are some of the authors that showed up. Pay close attention to the author on the far right bottom with the glasses and the book that says New Ways of Learning in 2020, Corona Struck. That is actually my mama. We wrote that book together throughout the pandemic, and it actually helped her during her healing process from losing her daughter at 39 years old. My sister was 39 years old when she passed away of colon cancer. And so it led us on a journey to write together. And now my mom's on her third book, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. Okay, this is what I want you to do. Okay, I want you to really take some notes because this is very, very important. This is very, very important, okay? I'm about to take you through the 10 phases of authorship. And thank you to ChatGPT for allowing me to get these notes structured like this, okay? All right, so phase 1 is the awakening. It's the calling. It's the spark. It's the idea. The idea comes to you in the middle of the night, okay? It comes to you in the middle of the night. You're inspired. Okay, you are inspired. You feel like there's something that you're supposed to do that's way bigger than what you're already doing right now. Okay, phase 1 is where you need to actually get a coach. You need to hire a coach. When you feel the spark, when you feel the call, the pull, the push, whatever it is for you, and you feel like, oh my gosh, there's something I should be doing and I need to do it and I don't know how to do it. There's nobody to help me. Boom. That's when you need to get on a call with me, okay? Because I can lead you to the left or to the right, to the front or to the back, okay? I can tell you if this is the right time, if the calling is what it is, okay? And then I can lead you from there. So phase 1 is where you need to hire a coach. Okay, now I'm going to use some cuss words. Good news, you're inspired and you're excited. Bad news, you're going to fuck it up. You talk too much. You're doing too much. you're a chicken with your head cut off, and people are going to take advantage of you. Okay. And people are going to doubt you, and they're going to talk about you, and they're going to laugh at you. This is where you're going to find out who your friends are for real. For real, for real. Okay. Phase 2. Okay. No, let me actually take you back to phase 1. Okay. And I'm going to actually show you a video. I'm going to show you this video of one of my clients. I'm going to show you this because this is so powerful. I'm going to go over to my Facebook if I can. And I want you to see. Actually, you know what? I'm going to come back to that later. I'm going to show you the video. I'm going to show you all the videos at the end because I'm having a little bit of trouble with that. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay. So you're inspired, you're excited, but you're going to start talking and you're going to talk yourself into a hole, and other people are going to help bury you. Okay. So this is where you don't need to talk to friends or family or people at work. You need to come talk to me, your coach. Okay. Because I can guide you. All right. Phase 2. Okay. Good news, you're committed. The bad news is you're committed to your way, which is ass backwards. Okay. And I know because I did this for a while. Phase 3. Phase 3 is we're going to be translating. You're translating your knowledge into a book. Okay. The good news is that you have a strong desire to communicate, but the bad news is you don't know. You do not make sense. You don't make no damn sense. Other people are trying to figure out your vision and they're not going to get it. Okay. So that's phase 3. Phase 4 is called harnessing. The good news is that you're using the right tools. You're using ChatGPT. You're doing research. The bad news is you're not using them correctly. Okay? You're not using it correctly and you're messing up. You're effing up. Okay? And if you F up bad enough, you're actually going to self-sabotage and you're going to go back into your hole and you're not going to finish. Okay? 5. The good news is you hired a team. The bad news is you're not a good leader and your team is going to F up. I'll come back to this again later. Okay. I just want you to get these phases. All right. Phase 6. Phase 6 are your rights. Good news is you decide to protect your intellectual property, but the bad news is people are stealing your ish. And you can't do nothing about it because you don't understand how the court process works. Okay? You don't get how the court process works and how you protect yourself with the government. Okay? I have experts that come into the community and they teach you specifically how to protect your ideas from being pirated. Yes, there are pirates. I won't go into all that, but that's phase 6. Okay? Phase 7 is you're going to be shaping the ideas. You need a publishing company that can leverage. So you can either try to lift the car up yourself or you can get a team to lift up the car for you. That means publishing company. Okay. Number 8 is hosting. You're ready to give birth. Okay. This is 30 days after you hired your team. Now you're ready to do something like you want to host a party, you want to host an event, like you want to get that. You want to get the momentum going, right? But you don't actually know what you're doing. So you got to hire a team. Number 9 is influencing. You start focusing on your audience. So you have people to influence. They want to hear what you have to say, but you don't quite know how to get it out. Okay. I have graduation hats here because In my program, I graduate clients every 90 days or so. I graduate clients. I graduate them, and they learn how to actually be an author, not just have a book, but be an author. Just because you're a mom, just because you give birth to kids, doesn't mean you're actually a mom. Just because you give birth to children, you have children, doesn't mean you're automatically a dad. Okay. Just because you have a title doesn't mean that you're a good leader. So these are some of the things that you will graduate from in my program. Okay. All right. Number 10, you start thinking about purpose, legacy. 5 years after your book is done, really you're going to start to see the impact. And it's going to be probably about 5 years. Probably. Okay. So let's go back to the awakening. This is phase 1. You have the awakening, you have the calling, the spark, the idea is born. Okay, then you got phase 2, the understanding. You understand how important this is. You're ready to make a commitment. And now you're deciding how you're going to do it, whether you're going to go traditional or self. Those are the two. And you're going to have to Google those to find out the difference between traditional publishing and self-publishing. That's the first decision you got to make. Okay. Well, the first decision you got to make is that you're actually going to get it done. And it's going to get done this year or next year. Okay. And then the second thing you decide is whether it's going to be self-publishing or traditional. Which one? If you choose traditional, then I can't help you with that. If you choose self-publishing, I can help you. I'm your expert on that. Okay. T is translating the creation. So this is where you start outlining and shaping your message. You start structuring your content. And again, I teach this inside of my courses. Okay. Then you're harnessing, which is the composition, which is your first draft. You will probably have 3, 4, or 5 drafts of your first book. Okay. Just expect that. O is for optimizing. This is the refinement. This is editing and polishing. This is the part that you can't do on your own. You have to have an editor. You got to have a beta reading team. Okay, you got to have other people involved with this part. Your rights, the protection, copyright, ISBN, legal safeguards. Okay. Shaping, that's the production, the design, the formatting, the preparing it for print. Okay. We already talked about that one. Influencing. This is the marketing, the launching, and the reaching the people. Purpose is legacy. Okay. Legacy. This is my client, Miss Ada Malave. She is in the beautiful Puerto Rico. And her family members are super impressed with her. This is her with her sister. And they're celebrating the birth of her book. She had it in her heart, in her mind, in her heart, and in her belly. And now she came to me and her book is out in the world. Okay. This is my client, Lawrence P. Christie. He came to me in 2019, 2020. I don't remember. Anyways, it was about 5 years ago. And he said, hey, I have a book that I wrote 20 years ago. It was about me in the military and I need to get it out. And I was like, whoa, what do you mean? I was like, let's meet for coffee. So we met for coffee. I showed him the blueprint, taught him everything I know. 3 months later, he came back and gave me a copy of the book. I was like, wow, you did this? He's like, absolutely. He said, you gave me the instruction. I executed it and I got it done. I said, okay. Great job, soldier. All right, here is one of my good friends from Moreno Valley, California. He's also a pastor. He says, Latasha helped me get started with my book, and every month I've sold at least 5 copies. Great coach. Dr. Terrence Meekins, pastor in Moreno Valley, California. He's still pastoring, and he actually has church at his house now. Amazing pastor. Mm-hmm. All right, and this is KB, Kelvin Bell. He also had a book in his belly and on his computer for probably about 10 to 15 years. He showed up into my world. We got that book published within 30 days, and he was on his way to other bigger and better things. This is Antonietta McGoey. Her pen name is Elizabeth Bannerman, and she wrote that book. Published it under a pen name because it's about very sensitive information regarding her family. It's called When Blood Is Not Thicker Than Water, and it was actually a whole healing process. She's the one who gave me the idea to call my process the Right to Heal process, because literally she wrote to heal, and she healed herself of lots of different things. Here's one of my beautiful, super fantastic clients. She was, when we met in 2021, she was a high school principal at a school in Arizona. She is now not a high school principal. She's completely self-employed now, and she's living her best life. And you can look her up on LinkedIn under Jessica Steele. Okay, this book was written under Jessica Alicia, so you can find this on Amazon. Here's my beautiful client, Kyoko Nakano. She wrote a book called Still I Teach, Surviving, How to Survive Teaching in a Broken System. On point, y'all, on point. Here's my amazing client, Tanisha Reed. She wrote the book called The Queen Method, and she teaches people how to write their story. And I think I can play this for you, maybe. Let's see. Nope, can't play it. All right, no worries. So we'll go back to Miss Erin. Erin is a social worker and also an entrepreneur, a busy mom, a wife, and she just went through my 5-day challenge and created a book. And that book has helped her attract ideal clients and also get people signed up for her retreat, which is coming up soon. This is Jacqueline Andrade. Jacqueline Renee Andrade is a beautiful mom. She was caretaker for her mother for a long time. She hosted a party to honor her husband, who has passed away. And she's honoring their love story. They were married for, I believe, 29 or 30 years. And she talks about the unconditional love that she received from God and also her husband, and from God through her husband. Okay. And so her book is called Hope, Harmony, and a Little Bit of Hectic. And that is on Amazon. And this is her at her launch party that she did for herself here in New Jersey, actually. So you can look her up on Amazon. You can look her up on Facebook. And she actually is going to be hosting a series of unconditional love parties. So if you're all about parties, you're going to want to contact Jacqueline. Okay, so this is my offer. This is how you work with me. There are 3 ways, and you're going to want to take a picture of this, or you're going to want to write this down. There are 3 ways for you to work with me. Okay, there is the done for you. There's the done with you, and then there's the do it yourself. What's the difference? The done for you, you're going to get a ghostwriter. The done with you, you're going to get a book coach. And the do it yourself, you're going to get a monthly group coaching call with me. Okay. Basically, what it is your book is being published and it's being written, but it might not be written through you. It might be written through the ghostwriter. Okay, depending on how you learn, and depending on what your budget is. Okay, obviously the done for you is a higher investment. The done with you is a middle investment, and the do it yourself is a more affordable investment. So those of you that are on a tight budget right now and you're like, I don't know if I can do done for you or the done with you, I'm going to have to do the DIY for now, and then you can always upgrade later. Okay. All right. Here is the Burnout Detox. It's a healing roadmap for overachievers, written by Jessica Walther. She is actually a business owner, and she's a recent mommy. You can look her up on LinkedIn. She is a super fantastic woman. She actually helps people overcome burnout in the corporate arena, which is what she did. That's what her story is about. And those images that she took of her face, she did that on her iPhone, and we put that on her book cover, and that actually has attracted high-ticket clients. Okay. Here she is. And if you go to YouTube and you look up LT the Buddy Teacher, which is what I was called at that time, and you look up Jessica Walther, January 2021, you will be able to hear her story. It's pretty inspiring. And again, here is Antonietta Magoe. If you go to your First Book 101, which a lot of you are already here, thank you for being here. You will be able to find Antonietta Magoe. Her story is enlightening. It's also inspiring. And this is Dashella Trammell. If you type in case study by Dashella Trammell, you will be able to hear from her about her experience working with me. And it's on this channel, Your First Book 101. And here's another testimonial that I have. Meet Kim Fisher. She published her book in 17 days and she sold 11 in 24 hours. If she can do it, you can do it. There's no excuse. Here's Jessica Alessio. We have a case study that we did about a month ago. Again, stay on my channel. You're already on my channel. Look her up, Jessica Alessio. It's a case study. She is currently Jessica Steele. You're going to want to listen to her story, especially if you're in the area of education. If you're a teacher, administrator, parent, volunteer in the schools, you're going to want to pay attention to her case study, and you're also going to want to pay attention to her book. Okay. Here's another case study. Gail Rucker. We did a one-on-one coaching session, and she had so many breakthroughs. It was incredible. You have to go watch that. All right, let's talk a little bit about what I do with these clients. How do I get these clients through the program? How do I get them to write these books in 30, 60, 90 days? Some people take a full 12 months, okay? These programs here, the premium ghostwriting and publishing, the deluxe publishing, and the DIY self-publishing, these programs are a full year because what I do now is sales and marketing. So I teach you how to market and sell your book all year long. So you're going to need to be with me all year long, even when the book is already published. Okay. All right. So now we're going to shift over to high ticket. The way that you're going to build your high ticket offer is the way that I built my high ticket offer. Okay. So I'm going to close these slides for a second. And what I want to talk to you about is your high ticket offer. So my favorite people to work with are educators, church ministers, and also coaches, entrepreneurs, and speakers. These are the people that already have an existing audience. If you already have an existing audience, you're going to want to focus on high ticket. Okay, here's the reason why. If you have a high ticket offer like I do, and I'm going to show you my high ticket offer in a second. If you have a high ticket offer like I have a high ticket offer, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to sell high ticket, and you're going to be able to give your books away for free. I know you have a servant heart. I know you love people. I know you want everybody to have a book for free. That's okay. You can do that. You can do that, and I'm going to show you how in just a second. I'm going to pull up my high ticket offer, and I'm going to show you what I mean, okay, by high ticket. All right, so my high ticket offer is here. Okay, and this actually expires on October 1st. And while I'm explaining this high ticket offer to you, what I want you to do is I want you to think about what it is that you can do. Okay, what is it that you can actually sell? Okay, what can you sell, which is going to give you enough income to actually be able to give away books for free? Because I know that's what you want to do anyway. And a lot of times we give away books for free and we can't afford that. And we end up getting ourselves in trouble because we just can't afford to do that. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can afford to do that. Okay. Let me close some of these tabs. All right, give me just a second. Oh, I'm not sharing the right screen. Let me stop that. Start again. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to show you my high ticket offer, and then I want you to actually type questions about this. below, and I want you to ask me, whatever you need to ask me here. All right, so here we go. It is done for you, done with you, do it yourself. So what are you getting? Okay, done for you, you're getting a ghostwriter and you're getting private plus group coaching. Okay, so that means you're getting to work with me and you're getting to work with my ghostwriter who has personally written books for me, so I know he's amazing. You're also going to get access to editing services. So whenever you need something edited, whether it's a email, social media post, whether it's a proposal, whether it's a profile, um, all your profiles on social media should be the same. So that's one of the things that we're going to help you get together. Okay, so you need somebody to take a look at that stuff, and that's why we're here. Okay. Now, what else are you getting? The other thing that you're going to be getting through this program is you are going to be getting a premium intellectual property protection plan, which is kind of like a life insurance for your books. Intellectual property allows you to protect yourself from book pirates, which there are lots of them, especially if you're publishing your book on Amazon. There are a lot of people that steal books from Amazon, and I know because it's happened to me. We're going to talk to you about your ISBN, your copyright, and your trademark. We're going to take you through 2 rounds of beta testing with our beta readers. You're going to end up walking away with a formatted ebook, paperback, and audiobook if you go with the Done For You. With the Done With You, you're going to walk away with a formatted ebook and paperback. Okay. With the Do It Yourself, you're still going to walk away with those assets, but with the Do It Yourself, you're going to create those assets on your own. Okay. If you have questions about this, make sure that you put questions in the comments. I'm going to come around and answer them. Okay. All right. So let me go back to this final part. There we go. All right. So I'm going to share this again with you. And there we are. So here is the difference. Here's what you're getting, and here's the investment. For the Done For You with the premium ghostwriting, you're going to get premium book covers. So 3 book covers. 1 for your ebook, 1 for your paperback, and 1 for your audiobook. You're going to get publishing to Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and you're also going to get invited to a retreat. This year, we're going to Tokyo, Japan. Next year, I'm not sure exactly what we're doing yet. Okay. The investment is $25,000 with a deposit of $2,500. Okay. The middle level is the level that is done with you. So your book's going to be published and we're going to do it with you. Okay. So you're going to end up getting 1 round of beta testing. You're going to get 2 books, an ebook and a paperback. Okay. You're going to get 2 covers, 1 for the ebook, 1 for the paperback. You're going to get your book published to Amazon, and we're going to set up a deluxe virtual book launch party for you. Okay. That investment is $15,000 with a deposit today of $1,500. All right, that is done with you. The last part is done by yourself. Do it yourself. So you're going to get video tutorials, monthly group coaching call. You're going to get weekly trainings. You're going to get weekly co-working spaces so that you have people that you're working with inside of the Zoom room. You're going to get live trainings on social media 101, which I am the expert on that. You're going to get marketing 101, and you're going to get sales 101, and that's going to be a joint masterclass with my sales coaches in my community. We've got quarterly events like writing challenges, writing clinics. We've got pajama parties. There's all kinds of things happening in the community. So watch parties, you'll be able to get in there and do that. That program is $5,000 with a deposit of $500 today. Again, this entire offer expires October 1st, 2025. So if you are watching this after October 1st, 2025, understand that this offer is going to go away. The investment is going to go away. That deposit level is going to go away, and the prices are probably going to go up, especially 2026, because we just don't know what the economy is going to be looking like, right? But this is it. This is my high ticket offer. There are 3 different levels to work with me, and there you go. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you learned something new. If you have any questions, just put your questions down in the chat. I will go back around and answer them. And if you want to book a call, there's in the description of the video, there's a link where you can book a call with me and talk to me about your specific book. All right. You have a beautiful day. This is the conclusion of Authorship 101, the 10 Phases of Publishing. Bye now.